This day will teach you anything. So if you're going to learn, you must do it by listening. Thank you.
Hello to my dearest grade 10 Lapu-Lapu and 10 Luna. I'm very proud of the way you work on your outputs. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, dear teachers. Indeed, today is another wonderful day, and we are glad to be with you as we embark on another fun-filled learning journey for another lesson for the fourth quarter. And for today's lesson, we shall be talking about giving technical and operational definitions. For this lesson, you are expected to accomplish the following. Understand the guidelines in writing definitions and differentiate technical and operational definitions.
And of course, for those who are following us via Facebook live stream, don't forget to comment in our chat box #lesson accomplished in grade 10 English. I repeat, #lesson accomplished in grade 10 English. So we hope that you're going to stay with us until the end of this segment. This time, get your learning activity sheets, your writing materials, and here now is your RBI lesson. Enjoy listening!
Dance Radio, siniparalan sa radyo, hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 DANHS Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Language,
Grammar and Literature,
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension, Critical and Analytical Skills.
This is the English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDRFM Dance Radio.
Where learning is amazing.
An amazing morning to all our avid listeners, most especially to the grade 10 students of Doña Aurora National High School. This is your school on the air and it's English time. It is better if you stay in a comfortable place while listening to your radio. Here's your radio teacher for today, Teacher Catherine S. Ordinario.
Good morning to all our listeners, most especially to our grade 10 learners. It's nice to be with you again for another episode of fun-filled learning experience in English 10. It is indeed an amazing day for today. We shall have our second lesson for quarter 4.
Wow!
So sit back, relax, and let's all get started. You have learned from your previous lesson what is research and its basic parts. Can you still remember what is research?
Yes, ma'am. Research is a careful and detailed study into a specific problem, concern, or issue using the scientific method. It's the adult form of the science fair projects back in elementary school, where we tried and learned something by performing an experiment.
Precisely! And what are the basic parts of a research paper?
Ma'am, the basic parts of research paper include the following: title page, introduction, review of related literature, conceptual framework, and methodology.
That's right! Those are the first 5 parts. What about the other parts?
Ma'am, the other parts of the analysis of data. Presentation of data, discussion of data, conclusion, bibliography, or references and appendices.
Exactly! In writing your research paper, you should take careful notes of those parts. A research paper has at least 11 essential parts, but of course, there may be additional parts depending on the discretion of your research teacher. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's very good. I believe you have already mastered what a research is and its basic parts. And you are now ready to move on to our next lesson. For today's lesson, you are expected to accomplish the following objectives. Differentiate technical from operational definitions and be able to give technical and operational definitions. The title of your learning activity sheets is Giving Technical and Operational Definitions. To start with, let's have this activity titled Who Am I? Based on the given statements, guess who is talking. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful! Here's the first statement. I am a portable gadget. I make and receive calls. I connect people. Who am I?
Ma'am, it's a cell phone.
You got it right! What about this one? I can come handy. I can also come big. I broadcast information via electromagnetic waves. You love listening to me for music and news. Who am I?
I know that very well, ma'am, because I use that every day. It's the radio, ma'am.
Exactly! And here's our last statement. I help students and even professionals in typing their documents, send email, play games, and browse the web. I can also edit and create presentations and videos. Who am I?
It's the computer, ma'am.
That's correct! Great job, my dear learners! Now, let us take a closer look at the following statements. Statement 1. A computer is a device or machine used in performing, assessing, evaluating, and following commands set by the users. Statement 2. A computer is something used in doing homework or browsing the internet. What can you say about those statements?
Ma'am, both of the sentences define the term computer.
That's right! What else did you observe about those statements?
Two statements presented different ways of defining the term computer, ma'am.
What an amazing observation! In writing a research paper, we use many terms with special and unique meanings. For the readers to better understand those terms, they are to be clearly explained and described in the definition of terms part of the paper. A definition is a statement of the meaning of a word or word group or a sign or symbol. Again,
A definition is a statement of the meaning of a word or word group or a sign or symbol.
writing basic definitions requires skill, practice, sometimes help from others, and the knowledge of the two types of writing definitions. As you have mentioned a while back, the two statements that I have presented define the given term in two different ways. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are those two ways of defining terms?
Those two ways are the technical and operational definitions, ma'am.
Exactly! Which one is the technical definition and which one is the operational definition?
Ma'am, Statement 1 provided technical definition and Statement 2 presented operational definition.
What an excellent answer! For us to better understand the two types, let us differentiate them. A technical definition mostly refers to the aspect of explaining or describing any technical terms. They can be used in expanding the vocabulary, since most of these terms are explained in the exact manner. It's just the literal or core sense of a word. Examples include the terms and definitions of the words found in the dictionary. Simply saying, technical definitions are definitions in the technical sense. And these include the terms and definitions of the words found in the dictionaries, encyclopedias, and the likes. Did you get it, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
To illustrate technical definition, let's have the term musketeer. A musketeer, defined technically, is an armed member of a military that is armed with a musket and part of the infantry that are primarily at the forefront of land combat. Did you understand, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
That's very good. Now, where and when do we use technical definitions? According to Thompson, they are used to name a new development or a new technology in a technical field, to help specialists communicate with less knowledgeable readers, and to aid specialists when communicating with readers who have a high level of technical expertise, to clarify the context and to reduce ambiguity. Is it clear, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
Very clear, ma'am. All right. We shall have more on giving technical and operational definitions after this reminder.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. I have just finished accomplishing the task found in my module. How can I send you my outputs for checking and feedbacking?
Oh, that's a nice question. There are actually 3 ways for a student like you to submit your outputs. 1. It could be via online. That is, if you are capable to connect online. You can just upload your outputs in your Google Classroom, or you can take pictures and send them through your group chat or messenger account.
Ma'am, how about if we do not have internet connection?
If you do not have internet connection, you can submit your accomplished tasks in 2 ways. 1. You can ask your parents to submit your outputs in the designated drop-off center. 2. You can save your outputs if you have available flash drive, CD, or DVD at home, and submit it in the designated drop-off center in your respective barangay.
Wow! It's nice to know that there are varied ways on how we can submit our accomplished task.
Always remember, for submission of outputs, you can do it via online, offline, or physical submission. Because at DANHS, we make amazing things possible.
And we're back! This time, let us have operational definition. An operational definition is more on the application of the word. It is the specific meaning of a word or phrase given to it by a group of people who use the word in their specific context. For example, this may include the various attempts to define or explain a certain process and its properties, including but not limited to the characteristics of the event itself. In other words, operational definition includes information from the real world. To illustrate an operational definition, let us use the same word, which is musketeer. Defined operationally, a musketeer can be defined as a knight of a king, or another person can define it as a guardian of the royalty. Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's nice! To better understand technical and operational definitions, let us try to identify which type of definition is used in the following statements. I repeat, identify which type of definition is used in the given statements. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Statement number 1. Global warming is an abnormality of climate. I repeat, global warming is an abnormality of climate.
That's technical definition, ma'am, because that's the definition of the term global warming in the dictionary.
You are right! Here now is the statement number 2. Global warming is the extreme hotness, extreme coldness, and the fast changing and shifting of climate.
That is operational definition, ma'am, because the way the word global warming is defined in a very specific and concrete manner.
Wow! That's a nice observation. Now, here is statement number 3. Government revenue is the money that the government gives to the people or agencies under the government. I repeat, government revenue is the money that the government gives to the people or agencies under the government.
Ma'am, that also made use of operational definition.
Excellent! And here's our last statement. Government revenue is the income under the government. I repeat, government revenue is the income under the government.
That is technical definition, ma'am.
That's correct! Wow! Looking at your answers, I believe you are now ready to give your own technical and operational definition of terms. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's very good! We shall have more of our lesson after this short break.
Do you encounter problems in accomplishing the different activities in your modules or learning activity sheets?
Worry no more, because your teachers are always ready to guide and assist you. You can send your questions or clarifications in 2 easy ways. 1. Call or text, and 2. Private message. So easy, right? Remember, at Doña Aurora National High School, we make amazing things possible.
This reminder is brought to you by Doña Aurora National High School and this station.
I'm back! Now that you have already differentiated technical from operational definitions, you are now ready to do the activity titled Another One on page 2 of your learning activity sheets. You will write the technical and operational definitions for each of the given terminologies. You may use the internet or your reference books in providing the definitions. Just don't forget to cite your sources. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your learning activity sheets and your writing materials and work on the activity. Let's have the first one. Can you give your technical and operational definitions for the first term, which is cathedral?
Ma'am, for the technical definition, a cathedral acts as the central church of the Christian diocese. Operational definition, it is used as a core diocesan church and as a Catholic church, that is the bishop's office.
That's very good. How about the second term, king?
Technical definition. A king is a male who rules a country and generally inherited his place and governs for life. Operational definition. A king is the sovereign head of a nation or a state.
Amazing answer. Now, let's have the third term, sanctuary.
Ma'am, for the technical definition, a sanctuary is a place where something or someone is given shelter. For the operational definition, a sanctuary is a sacred place or a sacred home as to shrine.
You are correct. How about for the fourth term, recluse?
Technical definition. Recluse is an individual who prevents and lives by himself. Operational definition. Recluse is a person who is voluntarily in public and private isolation, ma'am.
That's right. And what about for the last term, vagabond?
Ma'am, a vagabond is a wanderer or traveler. Technical definition. A drifter who wanders around without employment or income. Operational definition, ma'am.
Wow! Your answers signify that you understood our lesson well. Congratulations, dear learners! For you to better understand how to write definitions, here are the basic guidelines to follow. Basic guidelines to follow in writing definitions. A definition should contain the information about the word and what the word refers to. Get to the point. Clarity, brevity, and conciseness are better when writing definitions. B. Avoid terms that are more complicated or more technical than the term being defined. The purpose of a definition is to clarify meaning. C. Use conventional English words in explanations whenever possible. The more widespread a term is, the more users will benefit. D. Stay away from jargons. Highly technical terms will most likely require a user to look up many terms in the definition just to understand what it says. Although there are cases which involve the use of technical term in a specialized field, it should be minimal. E. It is not good to define a word with that same word in the definition. Use different terms. And lastly, F. Avoid defining a term solely using etymologically or morphologically related terms. Adverbs are especially prone to being defined by the adjective from which they derive. You've just heard the basic guidelines in writing definitions. Let us now have a recap of what we have discussed for today. We have learned that definition of terms can be technical or operational. What is a technical definition again?
Ma'am, technical definition is the definition of words coming from different reference materials such as dictionaries and encyclopedias.
That's right! What about operational definition?
Operational definition is the specific definition of term that include information from the real world, ma'am.
Very well said, my dear learners. So that ends our lesson for today. Also, do not forget to accomplish the reflection part of your learning activity sheets found on page 3, where you will tell what you have learned from the lesson and how will you apply what you have learned to your daily life. I guess I have spent a good time with you today. This is your radio teacher, Teacher Catherine S. Ordinario, leaving you a quote from the famous philosopher Socrates. The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. Till next time, thank you for tuning in. Goodbye!
Thank you, Teacher Cathy. With you, learning is truly amazing. In times of trials, I hope, my dear students, that you will still prioritize your studies and to manage your time well. Spend your time doing worthwhile activities. Don't forget to accomplish your activities on a separate sheet of paper to be submitted during the scheduled retrieval for checking and feedbacking. If you have questions or clarifications about the lesson, you may send them via call or message on the number and messenger account of your English teacher found in your learning kits. On behalf of the production team, our script writer, Teacher Beverlyn L. Ramirez. Our content editor, Teacher Ophelia S. Relutin. And language editor, Teacher Susana B. Dumon.
Wow!
Together with our technical specialist, Teacher Michael Jan Tumula.
Alright!
Thank you for staying with us for another session of fun-filled teaching and learning experience. Make it a habit to always tune in for another exciting lesson in English 10 here at 106.3 FM Dance Radio, where learning is amazing. This has been your host for today, saying make every day an opportunity and a chance to learn something new, and always remember to follow safety health protocols.
Alright!
I am Teacher Nina Jenny C. Guillermo, now signing off. Stay safe, everyone!
Language,
Grammar and literature.
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension. Critical and analytical skills.
This is the English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDRFM Dance Radio.
Dance Radio, where learning is amazing. Dance Radio, silip-aralan sa radyo. Hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Hello, and we're back. Yes, my dear listeners, you've just heard your second RBI lesson for quarter 4. Of course, I would like to thank our radio teacher, Ma'am Catherine, and our host, Ma'am Ninia. And to start with our discussion, let us answer this activity titled, Who Am I? You're going to guess what word is being described given the different clues. So, who am I? The clues are the following. I can be long, I can be short, but one thing is for sure, I'm very important. People seek me for better understanding of something. I make unique and special terms clear. With me around, people can think and communicate with fear. I repeat, I can be long, I can be short, but one thing's for sure, I am very important. People seek me for better understanding of something. I make unique and special terms clear. With me around, people can think and communicate without fear. Should be without fear.
Okay, grade 10 learners, type your answer in our chat box, or you may text your answer to this mobile number 0927-213-6257. Again, 0927-213-6257 to receive a 50 pesos worth of load.
Yes, our dear learners, you shall be receiving 50 peso worth of cell phone load if you can give us the correct answer for the different clues I have given you.
Yes.
So, what it is that can be long, can also be short, and it's very important. People seek that for better understanding of terms because it makes unique and special terms clear, and with the presence of this around, people can think and communicate without fear. Dear learners, please type your answers in our chat box now, or you may text your answer on the cell phone number given by Sir Dennis a while back.
May I repeat? 0927-213-6257. Nandun na pala, nakalagay na sa ating chat box yung aking number. Yung number kung saan pwede po kayo mag-text. Naghihintay na po kami. Sayang naman po ang 50 pesos worth of load. Pag ako sumagot yan, akin na yan. Ha? Okay. So muli po, nasa na po ang ating mga estudyante? Calling students? Nasa na po ang ating sagot? Wala pa ba? Wala pa rin.
Wala pa, Sir Dennis.
Sige. Okay, meron na po. Ayan. Mula po kay Catherine Aliabo. Tama ba ako? Oo. Ang sagot niya, Aliabo.
Alyabo.
Okay. Ang sagot niya po. Siya po unang nakasagot ha. Definition.
Pero tama ba yung answer niya, Sir Dennis?
Okay, so the answer is definition!
Yay! Congratulations,
And we have a
Catherine
lucky winner sa pangalan nga po ni Catherine Aliabo. Tama? Aliabo. So, Catherine ha, ibigay mo kay ma'am mo yung number mo para mapadalang ka namin ng 50 pesos worth of load. Actually, definition is the statement of the meaning of term. That is, word or other set or symbols. According to Cambridge Dictionary, this refers to a statement that explains the meaning of a word or phrase. Etymologically speaking, okay, the term definition came from the Old French definition, yan, or the Latin word, sa Latin na tinatawag tong definitionem, which means a bounding, a limiting, explaining, setting of boundaries, or stating what something means. Ma'am Jen?
That's right, Sir Dennis. During our last live discussion, the focus of our lesson is all about writing research papers, specifically the different parts and how to go over each part. And these research papers have 11 basic parts, which include 1 title page. We have also introduction, review of the related literature or the RRL, conceptual framework, methodology, analysis of data, results or findings. We also have the discussion or the implication of data analysis. 9 is the conclusion. 10, the bibliography. And lastly, we have number 11, appendices.
That's correct, Ma'am Jen. When we write our research paper, our dear learners, usually our practice is that we use special and unique terms which ordinary people don't understand. That's why we need to ensure that our readers will understand the components of our study in such a way that we will be presenting them, or in such a way that how we use them in our study. Because often our readers may have their own understanding of the terms, or they are not familiar with them at all. That's where the importance of definition of terms comes in. But the question is, how do we write definition of terms? That's actually a problem. That's why we have here Ma'am Raquel, who will share to us the guidelines in defining terms. Ma'am Raquel?
All right. So these are the guidelines in defining terms. Okay, number 1, only terms, words, phrases that have special or unique meanings in the study are defined. Number 2, know the important terms to define. These include the following: important words in the title, such as the variables, technical terms used in the research, words for treatments and measurements like data analysis, terms, etc. Third, define terms technically, operationally, or both. Number 4, if the terms are from dictionaries, books, encyclopedia, other publications, and even websites, acknowledge the source. Number 5, if there are common acronyms, include them. Okay, spell them out and give the meaning. And the last one, definitions should be short, clear, and unambiguous.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ma'am Raquel. Well, my dear learners, I hope the sharing given to us by Ma'am Raquel have given you at least an idea on how to define terms correctly, most especially if you are writing a research paper. Napansin nyo ba, my fellow teachers in English, na for our quarter 4 lesson, it is focused on writing a research paper, no?
Yes, ma'am. Mostly related to writing a research paper.
Yeah, kasi during our live discussion, we talk about how to write a research paper and familiarity on the basic parts. And we've learned that we have 11. Okay, so we've just heard from Ma'am Raquel the different guidelines in defining terms. But actually, it's not enough that you know the guidelines in making definition of terms. You should also know that defining of terms can be technical or operational. Now, another question is, Ma'am, what's the difference between technical and operational definitions? Let's find out. Here's Ma'am Jen.
Okay. For the technical definition, we need to think that it is all about the universal meaning of the term. So it is more vague comparing to operational. And this type of definition comes from the different reference materials such as dictionaries, encyclopedias, books. We also have the journals and other reliable sources like websites and whatever. We also have the difference, or comparing it to the operational definition, it is a specific definition. Kaya mas ayos ito at mas madaling intindihin. Yung isa more vague, mas malawak ang saklaw. And since this is specific, it will use a definition on how it is used in the research.
It depends on the context and how it is used in the research paper.
That's why for operational definition, the researcher is the one formulating his or her definition of terms, which is objectively anchored on the technical definition. It is more precise and at the same time more concrete.
That's right, Ma'am Jen.
And of course, for us to better understand, let us try to differentiate technical and operational definitions. Let's have the term structure. So technically, the word structure is defined as a manner which something is built or organized. Okay? However, for the operational definition, for a linguist, it has a different meaning. For the linguist, it means the arrangement of words. And of course, for an engineer, it is a structure or a configuration of a steel beams that serves as the foundation of a building. The meaning differs on how the person may use it, okay, or perceive it.
Okay, that's a very clear sharing and explanation, Ma'am Jen. Still on operational definition, just like what Ma'am Jennifer had mentioned a while ago, it depends on how a particular word is used in context. So I have here another example. Under operational definition, We have, for example, we have the word or the term clean table. The definition would vary depending on the person who is defining it. For an office worker, a clean table is one that is free of clutter. For a waiter, a clean table is one that is treated with mild detergent. And for a medical practitioner, a clean table is that which has been treated with antiseptic to avoid infection. So those are examples that would illustrate operational definition. What can you say, Sir Dennis?
Okay, very good. I also have an example, no, Ma'am Bebs and Ma'am Jen and Ma'am Raquel.
Yes, sir.
Example ito yung love. Yan. Gusto ito ng mga
gusto ko
bata.
yan.
Ha? Makinig kayo, mga bata. Love, as defined in the dictionary, is an intense feeling of deep affection. So that is technical definition niya, as defined operationally, love is something that involves caring, supporting, and guiding. Okay? For another person who really is in love, love is what one feels whenever he or she sees the person valuable to him or her.
Okay, exactly, Sir Dennis. So the definition varies depending on the person or
Yes.
depending on the experience of that person about love. Of course, if that person is heartbroken, he or she will give another definition about love.
Tama po yun.
Diba?
Tama po
Now,
yun.
talking about love, because that's one of my favorite topics naman. I would like to share something that I've
Talaga si
read
Ma'am
from
Debs.
the
Sana all.
internet. Ayan, binasahan ko talaga yan, Sir Dennis. Don't you know that falling in love has neurological effects similar to those of cocaine? Oh, nakaka-addict.
Cocaine
Parang
talaga,
ano,
ma'am.
nakaka-addict
Very
ba?
addictive.
Yeah. Okay, to simple explanation. Falling in love is much like taking a dose of cocaine, as both experiences affect the brain and similarly and trigger a similar sensation of euphoria. Research found that falling in love produces several euphoria, including euphoria-inducing chemicals that include or that stimulate 12 areas of the brain at the same time. In a certain study titled "The Neuroimaging of Love," there's a findings that several euphoria-inducing chemicals such as, hindi na natin alam kung ano itong mga chemicals na to, vasopressin, adrenaline, oxytocin, and dopamine, I don't know if that's, are released in the 12 areas of the brain that work simultaneously. The scientists also found that when couples had just fallen in love, their blood levels of NGF or the nerve growth factor had gone up. Right? Mataas daw. NGF is a molecule that is key in human social chemistry and in love at first sight. Ortig believes their findings confirm that love does have a scientific basis. Ano naman ang masasabi mo, Sir Dennis?
That's a nice sharing, Ma'am Bebs. When it comes to falling in love actually isn't about finding your missing piece.
Naman.
It's a universal aspect of the human condition, the feeling that something is missing and the resulting behaviors that lead us to try to find that missing piece. For most, this becomes finding the one and falling in love. We believe that by finding this person, we'll be completed and no longer feel this void in our hearts. However, until you find something gives you a sense of meaning or purpose, whether through connecting with others or pursuing your passion, you'll never escape this feeling. Remember, guys, love is pure. Love is painful. Sino ba gumano? Parang may hugot na naman ito. Love is sweet.
Sir,
and love is dreadful.
Bible-based yan, sir, di ba?
Sino bang gumawa ng script ko na?
In love, tapos nasaktan.
True love
tapos
is
in love.
overwhelming. Di ba? True love is overwhelming. Our lives depend on it, and it often seems like our planet would stop spinning if love don't exist. Endless love is something we strive for and something we mourn the loss of.
Speechless. Hay nako, falling in love is really a one of a kind experience, no?
Sana all.
Yeah. What can you say about that, Ma'am Jen and Ma'am Raquel?
Parang ako gusto kong kontrahin yung mga sinasabi nyo.
Okay lang. That's your
Hindi.
opinion.
Actually, I do agree with you that falling in love is one of the best emotions or feeling a person would ever have. But for me, I would just like to share my own motto of love. I have my own definition, okay? As for me, love is a disposition. Okay, when I mean it's a disposition, you are in love because you are thinking you are. But the moment you tell your brain or your mind that stop loving that person, automatically, you will stop loving that person. Kasi kung bakit ko to sinasabi, may iba that is too hard up in letting go, too hard up in sabihin natin, makalimot ba yun, Ma'am Bebs? Ayun, parang hirap sila. But for me, sabi nga, if that is what you're feeling right now, well, siguro, that's what you're thinking. But just try to think that you don't love that person anymore and you're ready to let go, then mawawala din yan, initially or gradually. Parang sa kanta lang yan, yung ating favorite, Mare. Ano mo yung favorite nating song lately?
Ayun ba yung...
yung Leaves.
Oo, yung Leaves.
Diba? And of course, love is also, love is completely felt if you already learned how to forgive. Ano yung first, yung ating best line?
Ko yung lyrics.
Yung lyrics kasi, sir, for the last.
Sample nga.
Sample nga, Ma'am Jen.
Parang bigla akong nawala dun sa kanyang lyrics.
Kaysa naman ako ang mag-sample, Ma'am Jen, ikaw na lang.
Saka na lang po, yung, basta sa kanta yan.
Pass.
Okay, sige. Ma'am Raquel?
Doon sa sinabi ni Ma'am Jen, medyo, contradict.
Okay lang.
But for me,
that's
for
giving
me
your
kasi,
operational definition of
Yes,
love,
because
Ma'am
we are
Raquel.
talking about definition
Yes.
here.
but for me, love never tires. Okay? Kasi it is something that never get tired or wanes, but lives through pains, but lives through sorrow, disappointments, or even accomplishments. Okay? So it never get tired para sa akin.
Baka yung mga bata, meron din silang definition ng love.
Oo, meron
For
din
O
sure,
baka may
sir.
definition di kayo ng love, sabihin yun sa...
operational, depending on your experience. Meron ba?
Pag nililigawan pa lang definition, pag mag-asawa na operation.
Yes.
Of course, we are talking about love. Hello, Bubbles. Alam mo na kung sino ka.
Ayun, talaga, Ali.
Si Bubbles ng Powerpuff Girl.
And we have
Blossom and Buttercup. Ayan.
Ayan.
To our ka-Powerpuff. Alam niya na kung sino siya. Okay. Wala na bang sharing? Si Ma'am Bernadette baka
Bernadette, baka meron siyang definition of love
Kasi ang ganda
dyan.
ng ngiti niya, bigla siyang nabuhayan kaninang, we're talking
Ay,
about
yung mga bata,
love.
baka meron pa kayong gustong i-share sa love, ha? Baka meron
How
pa
do
kayong
you
gusto
define
nila.
love? Sige.
Oo.
Love
Love
is
is, diba?
sacrifice.
Sasabi nila sa atin, love is anything that occupies space and has
And has
weight.
weight.
O,
And has mass.
Has mass daw.
According to my science teacher. Di daw weight, mass daw. Okay.
Addition siguro, Ma'am Bebs. Kasi parang sabi ni Raquel kanina, kino-contradict niya ako. Pero kahit nag-contradict siya sa akin, meron naman akong agreement sa kanya.
What is that
Para kasi
agreement,
pinakikiramdaman
Ma'am Jen?
ko, meron siyang iba talagang dalang-dala siya ng love na yan. Well,
hindi
to
niya
support
matanggap.
Ma'am Raquel, of course, I also believe once that you're already, especially when you are married and already a couple, the definition of love becomes deeper, especially you are bound by marriage. And that's when love is a continuous process of reconciliation,
Yes.
forgiving. Okay? You always meet halfway para naman kahit papaano, you could stay together as couple because that's your vow in front of our, alam mo na.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct
You don't
yan,
have any
correct.
choice.
Yes, you have no other choice,
No
di ba?
other choice.
And since
Okay.
it was your choice, panindigan ang choice na yan, di ba?
That's part of it. Kaya nga ang tanong nila, okay, magmamahal ka na, ready ka na bang masaktan? Diba? Okay, nag-enjoy tayo sa ating discussion. I believe with the examples given a while back, our students can already distinguish technical from operational definition. Sanang natuto kayo how to differentiate the two at hindi lang dun sa aming discussion about love. Okay, so this time, let us check what you have understood from the lesson. Ma'am Jen, what's our activity and what's the mechanics for our activity?
Okay. Definition of terms will be given, and all you need to do is to tell whether the type of definition used is technical or operational. We will give you 5 sentences later, and we are going to flash each sentence. Again, I repeat, you are going to identify how it was defined. Is it technical or operational? And you are going to write your answer or key in your answer in our chat box, or you may call or text us your answer. I hope that's clear.
Sir Dennis, what's the cell phone number again?
0927-213-6257.
Okay, let's have number 1. Again, how is it defined? We have number 1.
You can just key in technical or operational in our chat box.
The first to key in correct answer or the correct answer will be announced as the winner. For number 1, happiness is the state of being happy. Is it technical or operational?
Okay, dear learners, you may now key in your answers in our chat box or text your answer via the number given by Sir Dennis a while ago.
0927-213-6257.
What's the answer? Is it technical or operational? The statement is, happiness is the state of being happy.
Ang galing naman.
Yeah.
Nawala na live
Live
interview.
video interrupted na.
Yun na, yan.
Okay.
Ano ba
Ayan.
ito sa putahe? Charos.
Okay, key in your answers
Hindi.
now.
Okay,
Sir
key in your answer
Dennis,
now.
meron na ba tayong
May answer na ba tayo?
Wala pa rin po, pero...
May answer na ba? Wala pa lang tayo?
Wala pa ring sagot,
Wala pa ring sagot.
nagpapakita, walang nagpaparamdam. Sige po
wala.
mga anak, i-text na po ninyo yung answer niyo sa ating chat box, or you may text mobile number po na binigay ko kanina, 0927-213-6257.
Sige. While waiting for our learners to respond to the statement, ikaw, Sir Dennis, how do you define happiness?
Happiness is not about enjoyment. It's parang ganun yun no? Hindi siya iba kasi yung enjoyment sa happiness. Happiness kasi parang nasa labas. Yung rejoicing mo, yung enjoyment mo nasa loob. Parang okay, may sumagot na si Catherine Aliabo. Aliabo ba to? Aliabo?
Catherine Aliabo.
Akala ko Catherine Ordinario.
Catherine Aliabo. Ang
The
sagot
first
niya
one
po
to
ay
answer.
technical.
Okay, let's find out what's the answer, Ma'am Raquel. Happiness is the state of being happy. That is technical.
Technical definition.
So, congratulations to Catherine Alibo.
Wow, okay, congratulations
Send us
Catherine.
your cell phone
Nakadalawa ka
number
na.
and we shall give you
Any amount of
cellphone
load.
Yes.
Okay,
Very
congratulations.
good. Thank you,
Okay.
Catherine.
Thank you also MJ Valeros. Nahuli ka lang kasi
Oo,
anak.
MJ,
No?
nahuli.
Pero your answer is also correct.
Yes. Let's have number 2.
Okay, number 2.
We have thirst is a distressful feeling of not accessing water for a period of 18 hours. Again, thirst is the distressful feeling of not accessing water for a period of 18 hours. Is it technical or operational?
T or O? Sagot na. 0927-213-6257. Yan. Okay, sumagot na si Honey May Dumlao Respicio. Ang sagot niya, operational. Yan.
Ma'am Raquel,
Let us find out the answer. Yes.
you are correct.
Yay!
Congratulations, Honey May.
Congratulations.
Anong section
Yan.
niya, sir? Si Honey May Dumlao?
Yes, ma'am. Honey
Anong
May Dumlao
section
po.
niya?
Yan.
Estudyante mo ba siya?
Hindi, ma'am.
Okay. Congratulations to the other
Congratulations pati sa
students
advisor
who
niya. Yan.
sent in their answer. Pabilisan po tayo,
Ay, yes, ma'am. Pabilisan
okay,
to, ha.
thank you,
Next.
MJ. How do you pronounce this? Kaylee Magbanwa and friend Sofia Rose
That's Kylie
Cabaru.
Gia.
Ay, Kylie,
Hello,
sorry.
Kylie.
Si Honey May Dumlao daw.
Ay, 10
Dumlao. Is that
Galileo.
from 10 Galileo.
Okay. Sige.
We're
Next
now
po natin.
ready to move to
Number
number
three.
3. Happiness is the amount of time a person laughs during a conversation. Parang si Sir Dennis yan.
Okay, is that technical or
Operational.
operational?
Parang wala yata dyan.
Is the amount of time a person laughs Parang kahit wala namang conversation, mukhang happy si Sir Dennis. Kaya nga, he is giving us good vibes whenever he is on air.
Okay.
O, tingnan mo.
Okay, may sumagot na Russell Andrew Agunoy. Ang sagot niya ay operational.
Okay, what is the correct
See?
answer? Yes, the correct answer is operational.
Catherine
So,
ha,
our
tsaka
winner-
Jessa. Sorry ha. Unahan
our
kayo.
winner for the third statement is Russell Andrew.
Agonoy.
Agonoy.
Yan. Congratulations, Russell.
Thank you, Catherine, Jessa,
And
Daniela,
Daniela and Kay
Kay.
Pancho. Yan.
Nahuli
Thank you.
kayo. Yan.
Number
Okay.
4.
Number 4.
Okay, we have number 4. Guilt is a painful feeling of self-reproach. Again, guilt is a painful feeling of self-reproach. Technical or operational?
Message na kayo sa ating chatbox or 0927-213-6257. Ay, ito sa akin mag-text.
Chat or text
Okay.
na.
Mhm.
Okay, answers are coming in.
Yan, ayan.
Is that
Ang huli
for
natin kanina si
statement number
Ang huli natin
4?
kanina si
We have
Daniela.
Julie May Januaria, the first
Eto,
one.
Daniela Ramirez.
hindi ko kasi alam kung sino ang huli natin kanina si Daniela,
Si
no?
Daniel. Ay,
Okay.
Kay Pancho
So, ay,
for
siyang
the
huli?
third statement.
Anong huli niya?
Kay.
Kay Pancho ang huli?
Oo.
Sino kaya nauna rito? Julie?
Julie, Daniela,
Dapat pala may
Kaylee,
number.
MJ. Oo nga, nalito na kami.
Dapat
You
pala
write
may
the
number kasi hindi namin alam kung sino
number.
rito.
Oo. Kasi
Oo.
baka sagot nyo yon dun sa previous na statement.
Oo, ano? Tawag
no?
to. Paano to?
Sige. Anyway, the
Julie
last
May?
one, a while ago was Kay. So,
Oo. So, si
we
Julie
had the
May.
same answers, those who key in technical.
Yes. It was Julie May, I guess, the first one to
first
answer.
one.
Sige,
And
tama,
of
tama.
course, let's still find out if her answer is correct.
Okay.
Julie May,
Correct.
Anuria. Answer?
Technical.
Yes!
definition.
Congratulations! Yan, ang nahuli sa atin ay si Rocky Santos.
Oo.
Kasi ma'am, may nadidelay talagang sagot.
Oo. Kaya
Baka-
pakikiin din
Ay,
yung sentence
ilagay na lang yung number.
number.
Okay, sige po, ilagay nyo yung number ha. It is
Okay,
number, ano na po
Thank
susunod?
you, Kaylee, MJ, Princess,
So, number 5 na po.
Rocky, Jessa.
Okay, number 5. Pakilagay ang number 5 ha, pag sumagot po kayo.
Okay, we have now number 5.
Pakilagay ang number 5 ha, pag sumagot kayo.
Okay. Number 5, Ma'am Jen.
Okay, for number 5, lagay niyo po sa inyong chat box, number 5. Okay, here it is now. Academic achievement pertains to the performance of the learners based on the grade point average in all subject areas for school year 2020-2021. Again, academic achievement pertains to the performance of the learners based on the grade point average in all subject areas for school year 2020 and 2021.
Okay, may sumagot kagad ang bilis. Si MJ Valeros. Ang sagot niya ay operational. Ano pong sagot?
Very good. Operational.
Tawa pa. Si MJ naman ngayon.
MJ.
Talagang bilisan niya, no?
Oo.
Sayang
Ang
kasi
bilis
yung
talaga.
cellphone daw.
Pabilisan talaga ito.
Oo. Well, of course, we
Yan.
would like to thank
Okay.
Russell Agunoy, Daniela Ramirez, Kaylee Magbanwa, Julie May
Yes.
Januaria, Princess Balbin, Shermaline Ridad, Rocky Santos.
Okay.
Russell
Yes,
Agunoy
thank
is
you.
watching.
May number 6 pa ba tayo?
You're very
Meron pa
active.
tayo, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your participation.
Okay, very good.
Let's have now the last one, number 6. Thirst is a distressful feeling caused by a desire or a need for water. Again, thirst is a distressful feeling caused by a desire or need for water. Number 6.
Okay, may sumagot na.
Oh, we have also MJ Valeros.
Valeros.
Tingnan muna natin kasi medyo parang magkaiba yung sagot nung iba, no?
Oo, tama.
So, thirst is a distressful feeling caused by a desire or need for water. Technical or operational? What's the answer, Ma'am Raquel? It's technical.
Technical, yes. Very good.
definition.
So, ma'am, si MJ Valeros po
Oo,
ulit.
congratulations once again
Okay,
to
MJ,
MJ
congratulations.
Valeros. Kasi he's the one who hid in his answer
Yes,
via
ang
our
galing ng
chat
mga bata
box.
natin ngayon
Ang bilis
talaga.
nila. Oo. Well, of course, thank you, Jessa Ramos, Julie May Januaria, Daniela Ramirez, Kay Pancho, Kaylee Magbanwa, Russell Andrew Agonoy, Princess Glee Balbin, Shermaline Ridad, And
Thank
the
you,
rest,
Daniela Ramirez, for
okay.
watching.
But, Daniela Ramirez is watching. Better luck next time.
Yes.
Kasi our winner for the last statement is my MJ Valero. So, his answer is technical definition.
Okay, thank you. Salamat welcome.
So, congratulations to all our winners. Sana hindi kayo magsasawang makiparticipate during our live discussion. Okay, siguro. Since we are talking about defining terms, technically and operationally, based on the discussion of Ma'am Jen a while ago, we've learned that when we give the technical definition of a word, we are actually giving the definition coming from reference materials such as dictionaries, encyclopedia, book journals, and even reliable websites. Simply saying, when we say technical definition, that is the dictionary meaning of a term. On the other hand, when we say operational definition, this refers to defining a term on how it is used in context. That is why when we give operational definition, it varies from one person to another, and it varies depending on how a particular term is used in a particular context or in your research paper later on. Okay, may I also ask my dear English teachers who are with me today if you still have additional inputs or tips to our students regarding making definitions.
Okay, yes. Ako siguro mauna para ladies, sabi kasi Lona ladies first. Ngayon naman daw ladies and comfort.
Because you're the only thorn among the roses. So.
Okay, so tips or guidelines in making definitions. Sa akin lang po to. Meron akong 5. First is just the facts. Okay, yung katotohanan lang. Avoid complicated terms. That's number 2. Avoid complicated terms. Do not complicate, the terms. And number 3, avoid specific terms din. Kasi, And number 4, avoid circularity. May nagtanong sa ano ba circularity? Paikot-ikot. Paikot-ikotin yung definition mo. And then
Going
number 5,
the bush.
make it simple.
Make it simple,
Okay.
make it direct to the point,
Yes.
make things simple, make things clearer, because that's our actually our goal for
Yes.
our readers to understand what we
Tama.
are trying to define or say or write in our paper. Thank you so much, Sir Dennis. What about Ma'am Jennifer?
Maybe, ma'am, I would like to add details pa. Comparing operational and technical definition. I remember one story, ma'am, Debs.
Okay, sige.
Okay. So there was a child asked on how he or she would describe a banana. And of course,
Sige, before you continue your story, Sir, Ma'am Raquel, what for you is a banana?
yeah, ma'am, banana.
Grabe, literal na banana.
Bakit, ma'am? Are you thinking of another banana?
Banana Q! Bakit? Banana Q!
Paborito ko yan, yung banana na yan.
Natuwa ako dun, Ma'am Raquela. So, bakit meron bang ibang
Banana Q nga, banana chips.
You read
Okay,
between the lines, parang ganun ba?
Maraming klase ng banana. Merong, yung tundaan, merong lakatan, meron yung ginagawang banana Q. Yes. Anong tawag na? Saba.
Saging na saba.
Iba-ibang kulay din. May yellow.
Yellow. And what are the other colors ba, Ma'am Raquel? Baka naman, you have a different, a different color for banana.
Green, kapag hindi pa hinog. Pagluto na yung saba.
Ay, meron din daw yung brown.
Of course, pag yung nilaga, Sir Dennis.
Hindi, may brown kasi nabalutan siya ng tawag to banana, ano ba tawag doon? Turon.
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 Kasi that made use of banana. Natuwa talaga ako dun sa literal, no? Parang high tide, low tide lang ni
She
Charlene
was actually
Gonzalez.
referring pala to the different types or breeds of banana.
Ay,
yung palang literal mo kasi may iba yatang naisip si
Oo,
Ma'am
may
Debs.
iba yata siyang naisip.
Operational.
Or ako lang ang nag-isip ng iba.
Yeah, maybe. So,
Ay talaga,
you know, Ma'am Debs, the way we reacted is actually, yun yung gusto kong iparating when we define words. We have different connotations
Connotation.
of a word.
Yes,
Just like
that's
that
correct.
banana, very simple as
Oh,
that.
pati tuloy
but
si
we
MJ.
reacted differently.
Oh, pati tuloy si
and
MJ.
the way
oh.
reacted differently and give definition
sir?
to it
May ano ba?
differently.
Pati tuloy si MJ yung nahawa sa atin, sabi niya black.
Parang I haven't seen a banana with a color
Meron
black
naman,
yet.
ma'am.
Meron ba? Yung ano na, yung
Nasunog.
Nalungtot, ma'am.
spoiled,
Nalungtot.
Nasunog na banana.
Or nasunog nilaga pero nasunog.
Oh, inihaw na banana yung kanya.
Ay, inihaw yun.
Ah, okay.
Masarap yun, ma'am, inihaw.
Oo, yes.
Okay. Okay. The way we reacted differently is actually referring to our operational meaning. That is our self-perception, the way
Yes,
we have
yes.
viewed it. And kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, there was this one student asked of how to describe banana, okay?
Okay.
And all among other
Yes, ma'am.
students, they describe banana as something that is yellow, green, as small, and that is very delicious. But for a certain child who was asked, ang sinabi niya, I haven't seen a yellow or green banana, but what I have seen is brown. And looking at the background kung bakit ganun pala ang kanyang sinabi, it was found out that this child is one of those learners who belong to the very marginalized family. So they don't have the capacity to buy a fresh banana. So from that, parang pag nagdi-define tayo and nagdi-describe, we also get to know a person.
Yes.
The way they define the word. Okay? So yun yung technical and operational. So technical is more vague, while operational, it is on how it was used on a research study. I know that we have shared so much with you, and I hope you have learned even just a little. And I just would like to add that making definitions of word correctly will is very important because it will help us to communicate better with our fellow, and it will lessen misunderstanding. So
Okay.
again, equip yourself with proper way of defining terms.
Yeah, that's very correct, Ma'am Jen. What about you, Ma'am Raquel? Any sharing or any tips?
Yes. So, Sir Dennis and Ma'am Jen already have mentioned important tips, okay? So, I just want to add, when you make definition, okay, you should double check, okay, for accuracy. So, yun na lang siguro yung ma-add ko.
Okay, when you define, according to our fellow grade 10 teachers here, you make it simple, you make it very clear, be direct to the point for better
Yes,
understanding. Tapos, so, one point that Ma'am Jen have mentioned a while ago is that when we give operational definition, we give operational definition based also on our background knowledge about that particular term, and of course our experience about that thing.
Agree,
O,
ma'am.
diba? Experience. Kasi we all know that experience is the best teacher, and we learn many lessons from it. And of course, yung sabi nga ni Ma'am Raquel kanina na double check our definition for accuracy, kasi we might be giving the a different notion or different connotation or the different meaning to our readers. Instead of making the terms clearer, we confused them. So please check those things.
Yes,
Meron pa
Ma'am
bang
Debs.
karagdagan, Ma'am Jen?
Sabi nga kanina, ma'am, is double check. Just, of course, double checking is also a way of quality assuring things up.
Yes.
And
Kung pwede nga lang, not only double check most
Oo.
especially if that is written definition, kasi
Yes.
many will be able to read that. You cannot check it immediately.
so I would like to add also that really quality assurance is one of the best practices that we should, of course, teach ourselves.
Most especially when we try to give definition of terms. It's also nice to give definition of terms, especially operational, no? Kasi we are equipped with the ability. Hindi lang tayo dapat dictionary. We should also train ourselves to give our definition of terms based on what we know, and do not always consult the dictionary. It's
Yes.
also one way of enhancing our vocabulary, and of course our repertoire of words. Even simple words will do as long as there is understanding. Okay, wala na po ba tayong dagdag? So Thank you, my dear teachers. I strongly agree with what you have shared to our dear listeners, and I hope our dear students, most especially our grade 10 learners, have learned many things. What our fellow teachers here have shared are very comprehensive about technical or operational definition. No? So, my dear learners, please take note of their tips, additional inputs, and pieces of advice. And we hope that you had a fun-filled learning experience from today's discussion. And I hope that you have already mastered how to differentiate and, of course, give technical and operational definition of words. Now, my dear learners, get your learning activity sheets for lesson 2, and that's titled Giving Technical and Operational Definitions. And Sir Dennis here will give you some instructions on how to accomplish the activities. Are you ready, our dear learners? I hope you are. And here is Sir Dennis.
Thank you, Ma'am Bebs. Okay, mga anak ha, tatagalugin natin para mas madali tayo. Hindi mo tagalugin. Okay, gagawin ninyo, paunawa lang ha, lagi namin sinasabi to, na kapag kayo po ay nag-submit, kung 4 na papel yan o 2 papel, lagyan po nyo lagi ng label ha. Sabihin nyo kung week 1 siya o week 2. Tapos diretso na. Pero nyo nang gamitin back to back para hindi kayo mahirapan ha. Yun po gagawin natin. Una, in activity 1, ilagay nyo ko activity 1 siya kasi yung iba kasi ma'am, sagot lang ng sagot. Week 1, week 2, tapos wala naman silang masyadong ano. Bagamat hinahanap namin to, bagamat ito po ay nasa tawag nito, meron siyang answer key. Totoo naman. Pero syempre ang tinitignan namin dito mga anak ay kung gaano kayo katyaga sumagot. Kasi kasama yan sa ating binibigyan ng grade ha. Let's try this. In activity number 1, identify which of the given statements belong to technical or operational definition. So wala po kayong gagawin, kundi identify nyo lang kung ano po yung mga statement dito. Ito po ba ay under technical or operational? Isusulat ba ang buong pangalan? Isusulat ba ang buo? Pwede. Kung gusto nyo, technical. Mas maganda siguro kung isulat na lang nyo ng buo. Technical or operational. Halimbawa dito sa number 1, adolescence is a transitional stage of physical and psychological development that generally occurs during the period from puberty to legal adulthood and so on and so forth. Ano ito? Is this operational or technical? Yun lang po gagawin nyo. Isagot nyo lang po kung technical or operational. Yan ha, yan lang po. Meron tayong 10 items dyan. Sa piniisa-isa po namin yan. Muli po, ayusin po natin ang pagsagot. Ganda. Hindi naman kailangan perfect yung pagkakasulat, pero sana naman po understandable naman siya. Ha? Naiintindihan po namin ang inyong mga sulat. Okay po. Next. Ma'am, tinatanong nila, pwede pa raw bang mag-submit ng online? Pwede lang, ano po?
Yes, sir.
Oo,
anytime.
pwede kayo mag-submit online. Yan ha. Pero pag pinicture nila, ma'am, dapat malinaw naman. Ha? Meron kasing bata nagsubmit sa akin ng output niya online. Halos kalahati ng papel niya, kamay niya. So, sorry talaga. Kaya sinabihan ko siya na ulitin niya yung kanyang ginawa. Next, another activity number 2. Ang title natin ay Another One. Oh, hindi to si ano ha, Another One. Yung sagot dito. Direction, this time, write the technical and operational definition for each of the following terminologies. You make use of the internet or your reference books in providing the definition. Do not forget to cite your sources. Nakita ko yata yung sagot to. Answers may vary. So hahanapin namin. Mga anak, sagutin naman ninyo. Huwag yung ginagawa kasi ng iba sa inyo, ma'am, kung mapapansin ninyo, meron silang sinasagot, meron silang nililibang sagutin. Hindi po nila lahat sinasagot. Hindi po ganun yun, ha? Katulad dito, ang example natin dito yung hunchback. Yan, yung sa Tagalog ito yung kuba. Hunchback. Sa technical definition niya, a person with a humpback. O, saan ang galing ang source niya? Sa Brainly. Ayan. Brainly.ph. Doon galing yung kanyang technical definition. Yung pangalawa naman, sa operational definition, also known as kyphosis, an excessive convex kyphotic curvature of the spine. Saan galing yun? Kinuha niya ulit sa Brainly.ph. So, yung number 1 dito, cathedral. O, yan. Saan nyo kukuha yung dictionary yan? Halimbawa, kinuha nyo sa Webster Dictionary or sa ganon, mga ganon. Doon nyo kinuha. Ilagay nyo yung source nyo, ha? Hahanapin po namin yung mga sources na yan kasi kung maintindihan yung mga anak, ang pinag-usapan natin is about research. Okay po? Hindi po nagiging makatotohanan ng isang research kung wala po tayong mga sources. Lalabas lang po yung kwentong barbero. Okay po? Sana maintindihan nyo ha. Okay, cathedral. Number 2 is king. Yan, mayan. Number 3, sanctuary. Number 4, recluse. Tama ko? And number 5 is vagabond. Yan. At higit sa lahat, yung reflection. Ito po ma'am, di tayo nagkakaproblema sa reflection kasi po, ang ginagawa po ng mga bata, nagmamadali silang sumagot. Kaya sinasabi lang nila, I just learned how to write definition.
Yeah, what they have learned.
Yan, okay?
Only what they have learned. Sometimes they just copy the title of the learning activity sheets.
Yun po ang nakakalungkot. Mga anak, hindi dahil sumagot ka, maganda grade mo. Baka mamaya magtaka sila bakit ang baba ng grade nyo. Mga anak, pag sinabing reflection, ano ang inyong natutunan sa oras na ito o sa subject na ito, sa learning activities nito? Wag naman I just learn how to write definition of words. Normal 'yon, ha? Pero baka mas magandang lagay niyo pa, ha? Kasi dito meron kayong sasagutin. Sa reflection niyo may direction signs susundin. Complete the given table below. What things did I learn? That's number 1. What things did I learn? So tatlo checkin namin dito. Una, what things did I learn? Pangalawa, where could I apply this? Saan ko to i-apply? Saan ko magagamit? O pangalawang check yun. Pangatlong check, what are still unclear to me? Ano pa yung hindi masyadong maliwanag sa'yo? Ma'am, mayroong mga estudyante tayo nagsasabi sa grade 10 na yung iba raw na binibigay nating last sa kanila, wala daw reflection. Totoo po ba yun?
I guess, sir, hindi po yun totoo. Because when we made our last, we quality assured that all the parts needed to complete a learning activity sheet were included.
From background information
down
up
to the answer key
and answer key.
Meron ba kayo ngayon, ma'am, na encounter po na ganyan ngayon?
Wala, baka naman but for English, sir, we have complete parts.
Sa grade 9 tsaka sa grade 10 meron po kasi ako dito sa akin.
Kasi
so mga
we
anak,
haven't received any feedback yet.
Yes. So muli mga anak ha, reflection, wag po niyong kalilimutan yan. Yung una, yung week 1 natin, may reflection yon. Week 2 may reflection, week 3 and week 4. Kung wala kayong makitang reflection, halimbawa lang, wala kayong makitang reflection, sagutin pa rin ninyo, magbigay pa rin kayo kasi yun ang i-check namin.
Or you may ask your subject teacher via GC or personal message or call.
Okay,
call
yan,
and text.
maliwanag na po yan ha. O, tapos mga anak, huwag niyong kupahin yung mga answer key. Kasi yung answer key, sana maintindihan nyo, hindi dahil, ma'am, nag-aalangan kasi sila, baka mali sila. Walang problema. Doon kung nagkamali ka, hindi ka nangopya, hindi sabihin hindi mo dinaya sarili mo.
At least you tried answering on your own.
Yes. Honesty kasi tinitignan natin ito yung pagiging tapat mo, anak. Ang galing, napaltanan, ang galing-galing pagdating sa summative. Huwag kayong magagalit ha. Sa summative test yata, pero nagkakaproblema kayo. Yung answer key nito, binigay namin sa ito para agad yung makorek yung sarili ninyo kung tama ba kayo o nagkamali kayo. Correction lang yun, ha? Hindi yung kailangan copyhin tapos ilalagay niyo yung sagot para lang, basta may sagot lang, ha? Okay po mga anak, ha? Okay, so yun po ang ating instruction ngayon, ha? Isubmit niyo po yan. May nagsubmit na kasi hanggang week 5, hanggang week 4. Wag po na kayo, magsubmit kayo after na tapos po nito, pwede na po kayo magsubmit online, tama ma'am? Pwede po kayo magsubmit online or hintayin natin yung yung papel ma'am yata meron din di ba? So hintayin po namin.
During the retrieval and distribution next week.
Yes, next week po ma'am.
I think that's next
baka
week.
po next week. So next week pwede na po niyo i-send yan sa amin. Okay po?
For quarter.
Yan. At kung may katanungan pa rin po kayo, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask your subject teachers para po agad kayong matulungan. Okay po? Ma'am, thank you po.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Dennis. And we have here Ma'am Jen for additional reminders.
Yes, tentatively, for those who are asking when will be our next retrieval and distribution. So, tentatively, it's June 18. So, for those who haven't completed yet their output submitted to their teachers or different subject areas, still you have time for you to complete your requirements. And as for us English learning area, especially the grade 10, so these are the things that you need to submit to your teachers. Okay, of course, first we have the learning activity sheets activities. We have 3 learning activity sheets for this 4th quarter. So that's good for 3 weeks. Okay, all activities included in your last, answer them honestly and correctly. And of course, we also have the reflection part, which is very important also. You need to answer them. Each last or learning activity sheets per week has also a reflection question to answer. And of course, it also includes a summative test. One summative test, a total item of 10 points, or 10 items, I mean. And that depends if that will be times 2 for it to become 20 points, depending on the discretion of your subject teacher. And of course, attending a RBI live discussion just like this is also very important because you also gain points in attending this kind of discussion. And this will enhance also your learning about our topic because, of course, our learning activity sheet does not speak. Okay? But with this live discussion, you are being taught of more things about our lesson. Of course, constant participation via GC, and of course, timely submission of your output for you to get a higher grade in that subject. If you have queries, you may call and text your teachers. Of course, yung time lang naman, i-respect din natin the teachers are also a human being, that they get tired also. Yan.
Yes, ma'am, kasi nagpapadala sila, mayroon nagpapadala alas 11 ng gabi.
Na-notice natin yan, sir, because learners this time of pandemic, parang they have changed their body clock. Parang they are awake in the evening at para silang mga owl, and during daytime at times they are all asleep.
Yes,
parang
that's correct. Okay. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jen. I would like to emphasize that just mere reading your learning activity sheets is not enough. That is why we are giving you RBI lessons, at the same time live discussion, for us to enhance and give more examples for you to understand the different lessons well. So it pays if you really listen to our RBI lesson, and most especially, you participate kasi you just don't participate, you just don't learn things, but you also win prizes.
Yes.
O, diba? Ano
win
naman
exciting
yun?
prizes.
Exciting.
Yes.
Kahit na magkano lang na cellphone load, at least it will help you for your online
Yes.
class. Okay. And another thing is that in answering your reflection, just like what Sir Dennis have mentioned a while ago, do not just write there what have you learned. And most especially for my grade 10 learners, I would like them to tell me how will they apply what they have learned to their daily lives. Yun yung palagi kong hinahanap whenever I check the reflection part. Okay, I hope everything is clear. And still, just like what Ma'am Jennifer have mentioned a while ago, if there are still things that you would like to be clarified with, you may message your teachers via your group chat, call, or text. And Ma'am Jen is telling me here that June 25 will be the submission of?
Tentatively, when I have read, ma'am, we have already scheduled June 25 for the submission of third quarter grades to our head teachers.
Okay, so that means, my dear learners, before June 25, you have already submitted all your requirements for quarter 3. I repeat, before June 25, you have already submitted all your requirements for quarter 3 to your respective subject teachers. Any other reminders? Okay.
Mukhang wala naman.
Parang nabanggit na natin lahat. Okay. So, I guess, my dear learners, you have heard what you need to accomplish for this quarter, most especially for this lesson. This our second lesson for quarter 4. Still, if you have questions, if there are things that you would like to be clarified, you may ask your teachers through your group chat, personal message, call, or text. And of course, we are always very happy to extend a helping hand. On behalf of my fellow grade 10 English teachers, Ma'am Jennifer, Ma'am Raquel, Sir Dennis, Sir Vic, who is also a grade 10 teacher, of course, our head teacher, Ma'am Ophel, and our very guwapong-guwapo and always there, nandyan lagi, to support us, technical specialist, Sir Joshel Guillermo. I would like to leave you a quote from Dan Levy. Ano kaya yon? It is important that we realize that words have meanings far beyond the dictionary meaning. Till next week for another hashtag lesson accomplished in grade 10 English. Goodbye everyone. Stay safe always.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, bye-bye.
Bye.
Facts and information. Today's learning for you normal with capable teachers whose heart and soul are defined. Delivered knowledge inside your home through 106.3 DANHS Radio. Fully dedicated to serve the public in tribute to education, reproduce of radio-based instruction. We are pleased to deliver the utmost aim of education. Only here on 106.3 TWTR FM.